He's converted.
Have Julio Jones on the other side of these.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we talk about breaking teams down, and oftentimes just through a running game. These two, they can break a team down through the air.
Now it's Ryan. Steps away to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
Yeah, I think you're right, partner. Here's Ryan. Buying time, and he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Matt Ryan on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Johnson's got it complete. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, pumped out. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. This first half. Has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Falcons grab it. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. They got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. They're in a bad spot. To throw is Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Austin Hooper from 4 yards out. And the Falcons add on. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. Would you work your tight end into it? That's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. They worked out for 6. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Going deep here for Bryant. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. James has got it. Complete. He's at the 30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jesse James, 75 yards. And the Steelers are able to at least knock the deficit down a bit.
Yeah, you heard it, right?
Exhale.
You heard the exhale, and I'm taking that from their bench because finally, right before the half, they find a way to get the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. Maybe they can use that to kickstart them for the second half.
Yeah, just to get something before going into the lockers. And now in the second half, now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Falcons grab it. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20. And can you believe this? It's 2 points the other way on the fumble return. Boy, that got pretty close to disaster. Going for 2, you cough it up. They almost returned it all the way to the other end for 2 for themselves.
You think electron ball security is in order here?
Absolutely.
And it's not just taking care of it, is what you just talked about. What can result when you don't take care of it? They almost gave up a score.
And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Ryan forced out to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. Give him 30 yards there.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. James Harrison not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Now it's Ryan. Flushed out right. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. So we're at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Falcons have done a good job making the plays they need to in order to get out to a big...
And pump the brakes, Larry. Pump the brakes. We are ready. For quarter number 3. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. He's good. And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off by Keanu Neal. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Ryan now off the bootleg. Dancing to his left. Looking deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And when these two are clicking, Ryan and Jones, and we've seen multiple hookups here in this one, Usually their offense is clicking, and that's why they're winning.
Yeah, they tend to follow what those two do. They set the tone for either a good day or maybe a tougher day. And right now, we're seeing an excellent game because those two are finding each other. Doesn't matter where on the field, they're making plays.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. He lost 6 there on the first down play. On second down, Freeman. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Ryan. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Ross Cockrell. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit. Maybe
thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.